Hello again, this is Carol at Savner Epoxy Designs. I'm just getting ready to do the first initial pour for the memorials that I'm doing. Let me just lower that so you can see what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pour just a little bit inside the mold, just to cover it. Now, before I even did this, I went through and I washed the mold, made sure it was clean. Sorry, that's my dog. I wiped it out with alcohol. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit just to be in the bottom. This way it'll give it a little bit of time to sit there while we're putting in the pictures, because then hopefully, oh, and I made a mess. Hopefully we'll be able to get them in before this starts to cure, because I think I might have waited just a little bit too long. Let me just scoop this up. That's what these are good for. And if you notice, this is a really good example of sometimes you might have a spill or whatever, and it really works really well having the parchment paper down, because when this is all done and dried, all I have to do is wipe the parchment paper and it comes off as if I baked something. So it's pretty cool. So now what I'm going to do is I want to get this big one in here. So I just make sure the whole bottom is coated. Then I'm going to take this. This was from a card that I thought was appropriate, and I'm going to pour some on the back of this card. And when I do that, I'm going to just spread it around. This will hopefully decrease the amount of bubbles that get trapped behind here. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's almost like I'm buttering it. Okay, now I have that, and now I'm going to grab it. I'm going to go down to the very bottom and just drop it right in there. So I have already cut it and made sure that it would fit. And so you can see the little bubbles popping out. And then push this down so that it makes a good hold to the bottom. And then it's going to start to like cover itself, and that's good. And then I also have the photo that I want to put in here. I'm going to do the same thing with the photo. I'm going to butter the back to hopefully prevent bubbles. And then I'm going to start at one end and from the bottom and work my way to the top when I'm dropping it in. The reason I do that is it will have less bubbles trapped under there. And then I just take this and I'm just going to do it with my fingers to make sure that it's looking good and it's nice and flat. This all looks good. So now I'm going to move on to the next one. And this is why I go through so much paper towels. Okay, so now we're going to put this one in. I'm creating this one as like a little carry memorial. And I've already cut it to fit. So I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm just pushing it in till it's flat, and the epoxy will run over the top of it. That's what I want to happen. So here's the other heart. And now I'm going to take our lovely picture. She's a wonderful woman. I knew her, loved her. And I'm just hoping that these things will just help her family a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just drop it from the bottom and kind of like bend it till it goes up. Then I'm going to push it from the bottom and the middle. Make sure I get all the bubbles out and that it's completely flat on the bottom. Okay. And I'm just going to continue on with the next one. I wanted her granddaughter to have a little carry one. I think it's important. So I wanted to make one special for her. So this one's going to be one. It's going to be a little tiny one, and she's going to be able to keep that in her pocket. So whenever, oops, you can't really see. Let me see. Let me get back up here. So it's a little tiny one, and she'll be able to just carry this in her purse or her pocket. And if she's, you know, having a day where she wants to talk to her Nana, she can. Okay, and then I'm going to go on to this one. Same thing, I'm going to butter the back. And then I'm going to plop it in here where I want it to be. And it's going to be right here. Oop. I need a bigger desk or longer arms. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So I pushed it down into here. Make sure all the bubbles are out from behind it. Okay. They all look good. So now I'm going to just take the rest of this epoxy that I have, and I'm going to pour like a little bit over the top of them. This way that'll seal that in. And then the next step will be we'll go ahead and start to add the flowers, but we'll have to wait for this to cure first. So I'm going to just pour some more in here, and this will give it that space in between. So you know where you can, it kind of looks like it's like in layers, so that the picture will be toward the back and the floral arrangements will be toward the front. And I just use this, the rest of this, just to give us that, you know, level in between. And then when I'm all done, what I like to do is go back over it. So I finished with that. I just put this here. This, when I clean up, all I have to do is I can let this just sit here like this and then peel it out. That's what I usually do. I saw that on a tip one time and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So that's what I do. And then this stuff I'll just leave there, and then I'll just peel it off. It comes off really, really easy. So now here's all of my pieces, and now I'm going to just give them a look and make sure that everything looks good. I'm going to grab a little bit of alcohol. I always use the 99%. And when I'm done doing this part, I'll just put some on my hands because I don't want to have to go ahead and take my gloves off again, you know. So I'll just spray them really well. And then once I do that, I'm going to go through these and I'm going to give them a little spritz of alcohol. That way, if there's any bubbles left on the top, it should take them out. So I just give it a little spritz. Okay, and then that's all I'm going to do. And then as the bubbles start to rise up to the top, they'll pop on their own from the alcohol. And I think that's all we're going to do for today. So this will be the second part of creating the memorials. So I'm going to post this one, and then when we get to the next step, I'm just going to continue to post them, and then you can just look for them by their title. Okay? All right. Have a great day. Bye.